Hello, everybody. Today I'm teaching you about retrograde planets, how they affect you in your natal chart, what are the different qualities of the retrograde planets and retrograde planets by transit, as well as later on in this series, there will be classes about each of the retrograde planets from Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn, Rahu, Ketu as well. So let us learn. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and this is a class on retrograde planets. I'm going to teach you about what retrograde planets mean in your natal chart, and then continue with it talking about different retrogrades, and those will be separate videos for each of the retrograde planets, and also how they will affect you in the chart. So basically, the thing is this, that a retrograde planet is called Vakri in Sanskrit. Vakri means twisted, unusual. So when you have a retrograde planet in your chart, then retrograde means it's not in its normal state. And one of the things that I've noticed is that it's very easy if you have a retrograde planet in your chart to get unsettled in life. And retrogrades are different types of retrograde that you can have in your chart. And these retrogrades will be, one is that it is stationary. That means you were born on the day the planet turned stationary. This is a very strong energy for the planet because it is focusing directly like a laser beam, and it's stationary and powerful. Whatever planet it is becomes extraordinarily strong. Although in Shadbal, Parashar says this is Manda Tara. Manda is slow, and Tara, it's very just stationary. So, but in experience, I've noticed that if you have a planet, and especially a benefic planet that is Manda, then it's very good. Jupiter in Manda Tara means stationary, and Mercury stationary, Venus stationary. They are powerful energies, but you have to look at the quality of the planet, of how it is going to be stationary. So what happens is that before a planet is about to go retrograde, its speed changes. So it slows down, and then it slows even more, and then it stations, and then it will start retrograding. And retrograde whatever time it is. And so whatever time it's meant to retrograde. And then when it is about to go direct, it again slows down, and then it stations, and then it goes direct. So what you're watching for any planet is that in your chart as well, that is it, what is its speed and what time of retrograde was the planet, the birth took place, what time the birth took place. So is it just about to go retrograde? It is stationary, turning retrograde. So in the natal chart, you want to see whether your planet is slow, stationary, about to go retrograde, or just retrograde. Now, if your planet is retrograde, and it is powerful, because a retrograde planet is closest to Earth, but powerful to do what? So general rule is this, that the malefics become more demanding and more powerful, and they have the potential to do negative. Remember the word potential. And the benefics can become more benefic and more influential. But what I have noticed is that when you have a retrograde planet in your chart, it's twisted, it's slightly different, it thinks outside the box. There is a hesitation to express yourself. So you either express too much or too little. So it is never behaving in a normal way. Now, personally, I don't have any retrograde planets in my chart. So I have only experienced retrograde through transits, because this was not something that is there in my own chart. I see clients' chart, students' chart, experience and how they behave. And there's not much guidance about the retrograde planets in the classics, except saying that benefics are more positive and malefics are negative. But what I've seen is that it's the fact that the planet is not behaving according to its nature. And Sun and Moon never go retrograde. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, they will go retrograde. So therefore, you can have 5 planets possibly retrograde. Rahu Ketu are always retrograde, and especially if you're looking at the mean node, true node will station a bit, but it remains retrograde. So the 5 planets that are connected to the 5 great elements, which affect our life totally, those 5 elements and the 5 planets. So Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, they are the ones that will get retrograde. And so what you're seeing in natal analysis is, firstly, is the Lagna Lord retrograde? Is the Moon Lord retrograde? If Lagna Lord or Moon Lord are retrograde, then those things are hugely significant in your chart, because then your life is unsettled and unsure. Then you want to see, that what is the quality of the retrograde. And then this second thing you want to see is how many planets are retrograde in your chart. Like I told you, I don't have any planets retrograde in my chart. But sometimes you see maximum 4 planets can get retrograde at a time. And sometimes you see people with 4 planets retrograde. So they are thinking so outside the box. And as a guidance to guide them, you have to tell them that this is how they are. You can't change the retrograde to become direct, but you can understand these planets and what they are and how they deal with it. And of course, Rahu Ketu will be there retrograde as well. So that is the 2 points. One, that Lagna Lord or Moon Lord is retrograde. And second is that how many planets are retrograde. And then when you get into the dasha of retrograde planets, then they also will, that will also be significant. And of course, we have been watching in this channel the transits of the retrogrades. So, of course, again, if your dasha, your Lagna Lord or Moon Lord is retrograde, you feel it more than normal. And it is important to understand that a planet that is Vakri, it is holding you back, because what is the nature of the planet? It's going forward, but it's not wanting to go forward, it's going back. So therefore, there's some aspect of you that is holding yourself back and not expressing your full potential. However, the planet is very strong. So other people think, wow, you are very strong, you're very powerful, but you don't trust that. You have some unsettled energy about yourself that you are unsure about it. So that is important, is how to manage that. You can either do too little or too much. If you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, you may not talk at all, or you may talk all the time. I'll talk about all the planets separately, so I'm not talking specifically. This is just a global aspect of the energy. Then if you have a dasha of a retrograde planet, it is possible that you can have health issues at that time. Because this is part of the energy that there can be health-related issues at that time. The house that planet rules, the karaka of the planet, gets a bit screwed up. So, for example, if Venus is Karaka for marriage, so if you have Venus retrograde, your attitude to marriage is different. And of course, you have to see the nakshatra lordship. So if you say have many planets retrograde and they are also lordships of your nakshatra, then they can also affect. So I'm making all the videos for different each planet so that you understand, and also how it will affect each sign. But one thing I wanted to say is that there is a temple for retrograde planets, and this is a temple for goddess Kali. It is called Vakra Kali, and it is near Pondicherry. And even the town there is called Vakra, retrograde. So people go there to worship goddess Kali, and I was lucky enough to go. I've been a number of times, and it's a beautiful temple, and there you can get an abhishekam or just a darshan. So it is a time when, if you feel that there is your retrogrades are really bothering you, then that is one of the good remedies for retrograde. The pilgrimage to Vakra Kali near Pondicherry in Tamil Nadu, in Tamil Nadu. And the other remedy, very good remedy for retrograde planets, is doing balancing pose and yoga. Yoga asana, of course, philosophy, spirituality, but yoga asana, and yoga has number of twisting poses. You can sit twist, you can stand twist. That's allowing you to get the balance. And very important when you have retrograde planets, or you have a dasha of a retrograde planet, is to keep your balance in life. If your life gets out of balance, then it's very difficult to bring it back into some kind of normality. So with the retrograde planet, you're conscious, not that it's a negative thing, but it's different, and it has a certain way to deal with it. So I'm going to explore more of that as we go along. And all the best. Check up my website, komilla.com. And again, thank you so much for all the love you've shown to my channel.